about to begin, but I think before we do, I'd like to at this time really give a big round of applause to the custodians, maintenance men, and everybody who helped us.
I'm just looking. Man, your legs are dirty. I'm serious. That's why I can't see. It's dirty.
She can't see me. Like, she's looking towards me. She can't see me. Deaf blind. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm going to say, Sam, are you blind?
At this time, I would like to introduce the Reverend Glenwood Cross for the invocation. Reverend Cross.
Please remain seated as contrary to the program. Representing the divine aspects of this program tonight, I feel as though I almost ought to apologize on his behalf for the weather, but we'll leave that to him. Superlatives flow easily at high school graduations, and I'm not sure whether the class of '91 is the greatest class to pass through these halls or not. On behalf of my wife Andrea and I would like to say that for us, you have been a very, very special class. And I say that apart from the fact that my twins Josh and Matt are part of you. Many of you have eaten at our tables. Some of you have slept on our floors. You've spilled popcorn on our couch. Our walls have echoed with your laughter, and our shoulders have received your tears. And we have prayed for and with many of you. And our hearts are filled with pride for each of you. As I look down over this program and all the possible participations that I might have had, I count it a singular honor to have the prayer of invocation. I count it a personal privilege to gather all of you into my heart, take you before God's throne of grace, and speak to the one I love about all of you whom I love. Let us pray. Almighty and gracious God, we would exalt you tonight with our praises and with our thanksgivings. We thank you for this land with its freedom, its heritage, its opportunities, and its resources. We thank you for this community with its commitment to family values. We thank you for this school district with its commitment to excellence. you for those teachers who have seen their task not merely as a profession, but as an opportunity of bringing young people to their full potential. And we thank you for this, the class of 91. Some are here tonight by the skin of their teeth. Some have shown herculean effort and perseverance. Others have coasted to this night. Gracious God, quicken their minds to discern that their life's accomplishments and contentment will be in many ways determined by that same lifestyle that brought them to this place. God, I beseech you to present yourself with us tonight and bless this evening with that presence. Amen.
At this point, we have our first senior student address by Mr. Aaron Schwobel.
Wheel of Fortune, Sally Ride, Heavy Metal, Suicide, Foreign Debts, Homeless Vets, AIDS, Crack, Bernie Getz, Hypodermics on the Shore, China's Under Martial Law, Rock and Roll Color Wars, I Can't Take It Anymore. Middle-aged singer-songwriter Billy Joel told everyone of the horrors, excitement, and worldwide changes his generation witnessed in his song, We Didn't Start the Fire. His generation has struggled through their share of problems. And now, as we graduate on to what our parents always call the real world, we will have our own set of obstacles. This next step for us, from problem makers to problem solvers, will be a difficult and challenging one. In dealing with this future, I believe we, as young adults, will have a large variety of responsibilities to ourselves, our family, our country, and our world. One of the unique experiences for high school seniors here at Porter Central is enduring or enjoying the double threat of government and economics classes. Government class taught us that we have certain inalienable rights that will endure as long as voters continue to preserve our democracy. This is the first responsibility we will face, the challenge of being educated, knowledgeable citizens. For it is only with citizens who know about current events, so we can deal properly with them, history, so we can learn from it, and foreign cultures, so we may learn from them, that we can confront problems. As you now leave the halls of Portage Central, I encourage you all to continue to learn about the world we live in. We only get one chance to live on this planet, and to leave it ignorant about everything except which light beer is best or who won the Super Bowl the last 25 years is both sad and horrifying. No matter what subject you choose or which medium you utilize, you will find that learning because you want to, not because you have to, is a gratifying experience. The next responsibility we face is to our world. The recent Gulf War illustrated that morally justified or not, war is an awful way to settle differences. The term New World Order was not made up by George Bush as a public relations gimmick. Third world nations have been using it for years to describe a world where all people have a house, food, and basic human rights. This New World Order will demand that you and I, to borrow a phrase from the environmentalist movement, think globally and act locally. We need to think of the impact we as a nation have on other countries, and we must be a positive influence to the rest of the world, not a dying empire that only exports McDonald's, missiles, and music to the rest of the globe. A final responsibility we have is to our world's environment. Environmental consciousness has only hit the mainstream in the last few years. The decision to destroy our world or to cooperate with it will be made by our generation. Individual action does make a difference. A little way down the road there is the Portage Recycling Center, and it presents the opportunity to each and every one of us to play our part in saving this planet's resources. Also, most of us will have the chance to vote this November and all succeeding years. In that voting vote, we must make the decisions that support our planet for our grandchildren, not choices that seem convenient or easy. And finally, some of us will eventually become policymakers. Perhaps one of us will be President of the United States. But more likely, some will become city council persons, state legislators, and business owners or managers. Our decisions will affect the communities we live in and maybe the entire world. The last 4 years have been spent dealing with stresses and pressures unique to our age, ones that most parents and other adults don't quite understand. Some of us have had a taste of responsibility in the real world, be it voting, working 20 or 30-hour weeks at jobs, or making decisions that affect our future. Now, with Portage Central High School diplomas in hand, we must tackle whatever the world throws at us. No longer must tonight's party or tomorrow's basketball game be our main priority. Changing our country, our world, and each other are the responsibilities we must face and we must conquer.
Very well done, Aaron. Thank you. And now we will have a choral selection. Would the group come forward, please? Renee Hoover, Kim Kleiman, Pete Menard, Corey Olson, Allison Walker, Michelle Wiley. just outstanding. At this time, our second senior student address will be Michelle Anson.
Graduating. Well, it wasn't easy getting here, anyone will tell you that. The road was a lot smoother back when we were in kindergarten as compared to now. Now that we're graduating, that is. We each were put through rigorous tests while going through school, and finally it has paid off because we are all in this hot, sticky gym tonight. By the way, I'm not sure yet, but have I mentioned that we're graduating tonight? Now let's take a little field trip. Remember with me, if you will, kindergarten. Ah, what a great year. We had our lives made. Half days at school, naps and quiet time, milk and cookies, and show and tell, finger painting, and our very own drinking fountain and bathroom in our room. You know, in my opinion, everything you needed to know you learned in kindergarten. Some of those lessons were, don't eat the paste, play fair, now hold hands and stick together, don't talk to strangers, share, put things back where you got them, don't run the scissors in your hands, look both ways before crossing the street, flush, and always be polite. As we got into middle school, we thought we were big shots. I mean, we finally got to switch classes like the older kids. The rules got a bit more strict, but still loose enough that we got to have a recess. Then it happened. Yes, we were freshmen in that big building. Hey, no problem. All you have to do is stick in a big group, wear the same things as my friends, stand in the middle of the hall, and use 94 cans of hairspray each morning, then I'll fit right in. 3 long years later, upon entering that not so big building, we became seniors. The lessons learned in high school aren't as involved as those back in kindergarten. Probably the toughest lesson was remembering in math class it was inside the parentheses first. Other lessons that were learned rather quickly are that you don't ask seniors for directions. Upperclassmen don't believe in Chinese cuts, they just cut. And the best one yet, seniors are always right. Seriously though, in a few short hours we'll be on our own. Our future depends on what happens in the next few years. Your life is like a balloon. It starts empty, and you yourself have to fill it up with its contents. Some people choose not to fill that balloon up to its potential, and other people have that balloon filled to its maximum. However much you choose to put in that balloon will determine how your life will come out. So go into life with a positive attitude and never give up. The only time you fail is when you stop trying. You see, my friends, growing up isn't easy. Life is real tough. People will expect more from you when you're older. For example, now, instead of half days of school, we have 6 hours and 43 minutes of school, in addition to our 14 hours of homework, and a job, and sports, and extracurricular activities, and the social life. And while I guess those 5 minutes in between classes could be considered a recess, I mean, after all, look at all the exercise we get when we run from class to class. Oh yeah, and don't forget to use the bathroom and get a drink of water in those 5 minutes too. The road to becoming an adult is difficult. Don't forget what got you here today. Things like common sense, parents and teachers, goals you have set for yourself, friends, and a feeling of self-accomplishment. Remember, to enjoy the view from the top of the mountain, first you must endure the climb. In the future, when the road gets more bumpy, and it will, remember that things get better with a little work and some determination. Sure, things couldn't be as easy as before when all you had to do was keep that note pinned to your shirt until you got home. But believe it or not, the road will smooth out eventually. Think of how you can apply the basic ideas of life that you have learned since kindergarten to fill your balloon. Never forget that sometimes wisdom isn't always at the top of a grad school mountain. Sometimes it's at the top of a sand pile in recess. Congratulations and good luck, class of 1991.
Very well done, Michelle. Thank you. Just excellent. Mr. Rickers, President Flynn, members of the Board of Education and their guests, friends and relatives of the prospective graduates, staff, and the class of 1991. I had indicated to you earlier today that I would say some very nice things about you in my talk this evening. I had rather a lengthy talk a while ago, but recognizing the fanning that is going on in here, I'm going to make it quite a bit briefer than what it would normally be. So it's going to be more personal. It's going to be more personal comments about you, as how I feel about you, and how I think the staff, and maybe your parents, grandparents, and friends feel about you also. You have worked hard since coming to 40 Central High School. You have strived for excellence. You have achieved. You have done outstanding and admirably in test competitions, in your quest for scholarships, and in your representation of 40 Central High School, either in a curricular involvement or a co-curricular involvement. You have been winners. You have been to the level of competing at the top in state competitions, in curricular and co-curricular activities. Some among you are National Merit Scholars. Some among you have received countless other honors that have been bestowed upon you for either your achievements in or outside of the classrooms. I think it says a lot about the makeup of the class of 1991, and I think you should be very, very proud of your accomplishments over these last 4 years. You have been extremely cooperative. You have been flexible, as witnessed by this evening's quick adjustment. You've been easy to like, most of you. And you've been real easy to find a place in our hearts that will remain with us in our thoughts about you for many years to come. You have provided excellent leadership within the school, and that tradition will carry on with the classes coming up and following behind you. And for that, I thank you very much. I would offer just a couple of challenges as you begin to take your next step into the real world. And that is, continue your quest for excellence, but while you're doing it, be aware of what's around you. Have some real concern for your fellow man. Have some concern and be active in the quest for peace in the world. And have some concern and care and strive to make the environment in this world a place that many, 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 many more classes of 40 Central High School can graduate from safely. I challenge you to involve yourself in those things as you become young adults, and there's no doubt in my mind that you will. I've been proud to be associated with you and wish you the best of luck as you take that next big step, and I wish you good health and God bless. Thank you. Mr. Rickers, President Flynn, the young men and women seated before you have fulfilled the requirements for graduation as established by the Board of Education of Portage Public Schools and are now ready to receive their diplomas this evening. At this time, for the Board of Education response, I'd like to introduce the Vice President of the Board of Education, Mr. Philip Sheldon.
I've been a teacher, writer, and editor for 20 years, and I finally figured out what a speech is good for. Well, folks, 21 years with no rain, and I guess what this means is this graduating class is really special. To the families in the crowd, you came here tonight to see graduates, not board members. I have a great sunny day speech, and I'll be happy to give you copies of that if you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. But in view of the rain and the heat and the comfortable bleachers you're all sitting in, I'm going to give you a great opening and a great closing instead. I think that was my wife. On behalf of the Portage Public Schools and the Board of Education, I would like to congratulate the 248 seniors in the class of 1991. But just as importantly, I would like to congratulate their families and friends in the audience and elsewhere in the building that helped them attain the honors that will soon be bestowed on each of them. It hasn't been easy. From the A scholars, to the talented Little Shop of Horrors, to the C students, to the varsity athletes, and to those of you who just squeaked by on the last final yesterday, you've all earned your place in the audience here tonight, and everyone here watching you should share in your pride. At this point, my plan called for a quick trip through 12 years, but in view of the circumstances, I'm going to speed up and go through it quickly like my son Shane drives. This was your elementary grades 1, 2, and 3. This was your elementary grades 4, 5, and 6. Really flew by. Middle school was very quick. 9th grade was boring and a pain anyway. 10th grade was not important. 11th grade, so-so. And that brings us to this year. Your senior year. Kings and Queens of the Hill. Another playoff-bound football team. A state semi-finalist soccer team. A 2-time state diving champion. Currently a state-ranked softball team. An award-winning forensics performance. National Merit Scholarship winners. A wonderfully entertaining baritone plant named Audrey, too. And finally, tonight. But what about the world others gave you? As you grew and matured, studied and learned, stumbled and picked yourself up, the world around you was shaped by others. People like me, your teachers, parents, grandparents, and countless others. And we've come a long way with our legacy to you. But much, much more important is where we are to go in the coming years. What will be your legacy to us as we grow older, and also to the future children, middle schoolers, and seniors who will take your place over the next 2 decades and beyond. Franklin Roosevelt said, "The purpose of education is to make men aware of what was and what is, to incite them to probe into what may be. It seeks to teach them to understand, to evaluate, to communicate, and most importantly, to progress." And now a quick challenge for all of you. It is simply that each of you not be satisfied with the world you've been given so far. Take the best of it, improve on the worst, add your own spirit, knowledge, and creativity. Put something into it and make your world better than it has ever been before, for yourselves, for us, and for all the children to come. On the cafeteria wall at Central Middle School next door is the saying, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you'll always be right. To meet my challenge, you must always think you can." Again, to the relatives and friends here tonight, and most of all to the graduates, congratulations and the very best of luck to each of you.
And now some congratulatory remarks from the Superintendent of the Portage Public Schools, Mr. James Rickard.
Graduates, congratulations. I'd like to leave you with two brief quotes tonight. First is from Thomas Jefferson. Many years ago, he wrote to a friend that to be poorly educated is to be condemned to a life of unfulfilled potential. A nation that hopes to be ignorant and free hopes for something that never was and never will be. And then from this year's page in the history books, Robert Kirkpatrick, chairman of the Cigna Corporation, recently remarked, "If I have learned one thing, it's that the answer to virtually all our national problems, from international competitiveness to improving our standard of living, to the very security of our nation, ultimately rests on one word: education." These two remarks, offered centuries apart, bring to us a challenge to reach our full potential with the power of education. I leave you with that challenge this evening so that in so doing, you will also guarantee our nation's future competitiveness and its security. And with that challenge, I extend to you my very best wishes for success for the rest of your lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rickard. Also, thank you, Mr. Sheldon. I forgot to do that. Now, that probably is the first time since Bob Walker has worked at Portage Central High School that he's ever been booed. Our next choral selection, Carol Larkins. instruction to the seniors. We're going to come up one row at a time. We're all going to go the same direction, not like we rehearsed. Good luck, let's go. Move to Shannon. Allison Jane Walker. Peter Nathaniel Bernard. Corey Douglas Holton. Denaka Lee Harris. Sarah Renee Parker. Aaron Cole. Kristen Carney Brownfield. Amy Christine Weezy. Christina J. Brown. Yvette Renee Fedor. Robert John Elliott Clay. Arlo K. Dewey. Eric L. Wright. Willard A. Clark. Andrew Paul McCormick. Daniel Mark Tegelbaum. Stephen German. Curtis Huff. Matthew Douglas Singleton. Matt Hines. Michael Best. Rex Albert Simpson. Donald Kruger. And Francis Pippy. Carla Jane Baker. Rachel Lawrence Harlan. Carol Lynn Janet. Julie Marie Curtis. Kristen Lee Belcher. Jennifer Charlene Stevenson. Rebecca Catherine West. Barbara A. Hardy. Jennifer Jan Pratt. Christopher Patrick Buckley. James Jerry Hudson. Chad Christopher Engel. Kristen Shin Swope. Kimberly Landing. Alicia Marie Cadetti. Terry Michelle Gray. Janine Elise Garnett. Wendy Jean Yu. Amy Jennifer Floyd. Christine Curtis. Dale Surratt. Mason Shear. J.D. Shear. David James Martin. Julie Jackson. Jeremy Casey. Eric Heinlein. Denise Brown. Troy Gerald Smith. Melissa Maggie. Jennifer Laurel Reinhardt. Kimberly Lyman. Amy Lynn Alexander. Amy Lynn Baird. Devon Trayford. Paul Michael Flowers. Joshua Tyler Cronin. Matthew Zachary Bradley. Richard Hale Armstrong. Matthew Jordan Cronin. Matthew K. Henry. Jonathan Michael Hill. Jennifer Ben Stevens. April May Soya. Amy Sue Dekica. Kimberly John Powell. Shannon Marie Freeman. Amanda Sarah Gilman. Becky K. Myers. Angela D. Foster. Deborah Ann Axel. Tanda Ray Leestra. Erica Milko. Grace Brown. James Lindsay Slattery. Elizabeth Ann Huntley. Christy Lynn Gilbert. Aaron Michelle Thursday. Pam McPherson. Melissa Ann Stevenson. Mark Joseph Myers. Amy Annette English. Todd Jason Bundle. Matthew F. Thomas. Deborah John Walker. Jennifer Eileen Ensfield. Cheryl Ann Cranberry. Amy Elizabeth Thompson. Heidi Lee Moha. Greg Max Purcell. Link Boulder. Amy Hopkins. Scotty Roach. Tanya Mendiza. William James Heller. Ryan Timothy Murphy. Nicola Salome Nardo. Juliana Donna Payne. Heather Cole. Ann Conwat. Corey Ann Shields. Jeffrey David Taylor. Amy Elizabeth Baker. Chris Van Houston. Jeffrey Thomas Carpado Jr. Sally Jane Ingram. Amy Weiner. Rebecca Lynn Kuchner. John Sampson. Robert Warren Harrison. Daniel Scott Guerrero. Scott Michael Allen Wilkins. Archie Ann Bell. Sure.
PCHS Graduation. Thank you.